Shalom, shalom. I'm gonna label this one paradigm. Basically, I'm running into a lot of folks that I guess want to push or put you in a box. See, I'm happen to be a Torah follower, but yet I still believe in the Brit Hadashah. The problem is, though, with me, if the Brit Hadashah ever, in my opinion, or my studies, conflicts with the Torah, I reject it. Or I deeply dive into it and try to find some form of correlation. Otherwise, if I can't find it, I'm like, I'm going to put that on hold or put it to the back burner. I don't, I guess, project that as the absolute truth. At a time when I was in Christianity, I went from that part of the book backwards, but now I'm reversing my my paradigm. The way I see things, I do it differently. And so I get it. Torah only people have a lot of conflicts with my beliefs. That's cool. But also a lot of people in the Brit Hadashah or follow that dynamic, these Christian Hebrews have a problem with me as well, or they call themselves Messianic Hebrews. So I'm in the middle. A lot of times I have no allies. I'm basically on my own. And you could call me a nomad, I guess, but I'm cool with that. One of the issues, though, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to put things out there in my perspective, my vantage point, and challenge you. I don't expect you to see or believe like I do. That's one of the things that I come into, though, that most people have this issue. If you don't see and believe as they do, they want to excommunicate or separate themselves from you and not use that as friction or use that as iron sharpening iron. None of us is completely right. So it's good to have someone to challenge your paradigm, the way of thinking, your perspective, your vantage point. So I'm always good with someone thinking differently. I don't want people to be cookie cutter of what I'm putting forth. I want them to challenge me. All I ask is that they do it with respect. When you get the name calling or basically calling me stupid or trying to say that I don't know the Ruach and stuff like that, that's when the cutoff and the disconnect comes about. Other than that, it's all good. It's all fair. Even though nothing is really fair, that's fair with me. That you are holding to your ground and your position as I am holding to mine. That's fair with me. I'm reasonable with that. I like that position and posture from you. I respect that you don't just change just at the persistence of another person without doing your own diligence and study. Again, paradigm. Now, one of the things that comes to mind when I speak on paradigm for me is I'm always in, I guess, conversation with people who deify or call Yahusha Yahuwah. And they say, well, he's Yahuwah in the flesh. And I'm like, would not the remnant also be the same thing? Would not Israel, the firstborn son, according to Exodus 4:22, be also considered Yahuwah in the flesh? Because if you look at what Adam was in the beginning, he was made flesh, but he was to be the representative or proxy of Yahuwah. So he was Yahuwah in the flesh, just as the second Adam is. And so that's why I have no problem acknowledging Yahusha, because he's the second Adam. Many also run into conflict with me because they try to raise Yahusha to the level of king. They say he's the King of Kings. And I'm one with the mindset that a kingdom only has one king. Has many princes and princesses, but one king. Just one. So Yahusha cannot be king along with the Father unless the Father has denounced his throne or died. And he's done neither. And there's even text in the Brit Hadashah that calls Yahusha Prince. Now, a lot of my Torah only people say, oh, well, you know, they have a problem with, you know, this whole narrative of Yahusha. But yet they're looking for a Messiah. One of the things that I try to even share is that if you're a part of the remnant, again, you are Messiah, you're anointed. And thus the head and the body being connected and not perverse would be one. So Yahusha, Yahuwah is salvation, represents not just that one man, but it represents all of those of Exodus 4:22 or the royal priesthood. They all would be Yahusha or Yahuwah salvation. Not by name, but by attributes and characteristics. Again, this is something that brings forth trepidation and problems with people. Because all through our journey as Christians, we would say over and over, I'm anointed. I'm anointed. Not recognizing that the word anointed, the English word anointed, it basically in Hebrew is Mashiach. In Greek, it's Christ or Christos. I'm not Greek, but I claim and I recognize myself as Israel or a Hebrew. So of course, the term Mashiach suits and fits me. Am I the Mashiach? No. But if I am a part of the body of Mashiach, then I'm Mashiach. You are what you are. A piece of pizza is still pizza. A piece of pie is still pie. Maybe not the whole, but it is still what it comes from, what it's connected to, what it's a part of, Echad to. One of the things that people have a problem with is when they hear one. When they hear that you're one with something. I'm one with my wife, but we are not one and the same. So Yahusha and Yahuwah are not one and the same. There are so many implications that show that this is accurate, that they're not one and the same, but yet people will go to the extreme to make them the same. I'm like, if Yahuwah says he's not double-minded, what would be the necessity for him to pray to himself? There would be none. But Yahusha prayed to Yahuwah. They said, well, that was for an example. Well, in the Garden of Gethsemane, he went away from his disciples or his apostles, as some try to call them, and prayed to the Father. Why would he need to do that? And why would he have such suffering and pain? It just doesn't make sense. Again, my paradigm views it differently. I see him as the second Adam. He's the one that completed the journey. The first one failed. And of course, Yahuwah says that his word never comes back void. So with the first one, you can say that it kind of did. But of course, it wasn't finished. So when it was finished with Yahusha, the word was completed and fulfilled. The goal was achieved. The teleos or telos was achieved. All right, well, I'm almost at my destination. I'm out here doing some ripping and running before I go to work. But I just wanted to share my paradigm and give my thoughts, because so many people want to put me in a box, and I'm not that. You really, I'm one of one. Most people have never met someone like me. They have similarities, but not like me. I'm a different cat. And what I believe, I would wish that people would stop trying to put me in the box or try to make me, oh, he's Tanakh only, or he's a messianic believer, or, you know, it's like, no, You can't put me in a box. I don't have a religion. You know, I'm not bound to none of that. I'm constantly growing every day. So, you know, my doctrine or my thoughts and my paradigm is growing, thus changing. It's alive. So I'm going to say something, you know, Yada Yahuwah. Yada Yahuwah. It's a lot of terms I don't say, a lot of terms I try to steer people away from, but of course people are going to say what they want to. I don't say the term I don't really say that. Don't agree with that. So be it is better. But again, paradigm. Shalom.